Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today, and today we're going to be talking about Facebook. I want to know what you guys think about will Facebook 2x in 2021? And I believe it has a possibility of 2xing, especially because of the virtual reality business. I feel like people are not looking into the future long enough into the company of Facebook because we already know in Q4 of this year, Facebook had a crazy numbers for the virtual reality headset, the Quest 2, that came out in October. It generated $185 million in revenue, up 156%. So just look at those numbers. There's a huge potential for this business to grow and grow in the future. And people don't really look to Facebook for that. They just look at the advertisements and all that type of stuff, which is true because that makes majority of their business. This is not a significant factor in their business yet. But when we're investing, we have to look into the future to see the projections of the company. Where can this company be? And you got to remember that Facebook is leading in this area of virtual headset. The Quest 2 is beyond all that competition. It's easier to use. It's more feature friendly. It's wireless. Like you don't need to plug it into anywhere. It's the cheapest. Like there's so many benefits for the Quest 2, and this is gonna develop over time. Mark already said that in 3 to 5 years they want to have virtual reality glasses. Can you believe that? Just have virtual reality glasses. And that's where he sees the future of social media, of everything going. Because he said that computing changes around every 15 years. So this is where we're heading to. So you guys, we got to predict this. We got to kind of look into the future and see how Facebook's main business is still growing rapidly, like 20-30% a year. And it's actually in this new arena that has huge growth potential. And I feel like it hasn't even been released yet. So let's get into it. What he said, what's going on with this company. So first I want to start with what Mark Zuckerberg said in this Q4 earnings call and what he sees in the future for augmented reality and virtual reality. So Facebook just had a Q4 earnings call and Mark Zuckerberg just explains what he sees in the future for Facebook and where can this company go. So let's hear what he had to say about Facebook. If you look at the history of computing, every 15 years or so, a new major platform emerges that integrates technology more naturally and ambiguously into our lives, starting with mainframes, PCs, browser-based computing, and then mobile. I believe that the next logical step here is an immersive computing platform that just delivers this magical sense of presence that you're really there with another person in another place. Our phones can't deliver this, and neither can any other technology that's come before it. This is going to unlock the types of social experiences that I've dreamed about building since I was a kid. And it's what we're building towards at Facebook Reality Labs. And this comes when they're launching the Quest 2 headset. Facebook is the leader in the headsets. It's been great to see so many people embrace this, especially this year during the pandemic. We're seeing people use it, play games with their friends when they can't be together, to do workouts in the living room, to meet with colleagues while they're working from home. So there's a lot of reasons. The Quest 2 was one of the hot holiday gifts this year. So Mark Zuckerberg recently went on Clubhouse to discuss virtual reality and augmented reality and all that type of stuff. And when he was discussing this, he was talking about his plans of in 3 to 5 years to fit thick glasses on your head that have virtual reality and augmented reality capabilities. Can you imagine that? Just having small glasses without that big Oculus on your head and you can visualize everything and you don't even have to be there. So he's saying that why travel to places? Why not just transport to places? And this is where he sees the future for a lot of businesses, a lot of schools and stuff like that. People are not going to be traveling as much maybe. If this comes to reality, he can see this in a decade. He said half of Facebook might not be able to even have to go to the office. They can just be at home. They can VR and actually be able to just go into their workspace or just go into these meetings and just be at home, so they're just more productive. And this is where he sees a lot of like the future heading to, because remember, he said every 15 years stuff changes, comes from like computing to browser to mobile phone. So the the next step could be virtual reality. And just imagine what this could do for the business of Facebook, because it's already the leading in the headset virtual reality space. And Facebook just has so much money and innovation capabilities that I can see this being a huge factor. If we can visualize or even imagine this space becoming a crazy multi-billion dollar industry and in the future. So the pandemic had a huge effect on this, because we realize now, and a lot of businesses realize now, that you don't even have to be in the office to be very productive and be very effective. So if Facebook can actually use these Oculus to actually just let workers and people who want to work remote just stay at home, and you can call in, and instead of calling in or zooming in, now you can legitly be in the space virtually with an augmented reality in like a sphere that looks like an actual office room and everything. That's just going to change the game. That's just going to be huge for Facebook, and where the future and where the Facebook can be leading to and heading to. And you already see a lot of companies downsizing. So this is where like the future is heading to. And then how many businesses is this going to affect? Like, what type of businesses is this going to affect? Is this going to affect the car business? So less traveling, and then zero emissions. So you can see a lot of people or a lot of businesses going this way, because everyone hates car emissions and think that's like the biggest threat, and electric and all that type of stuff, and climate change. So virtual reality, how much hours, how much traveling is that going to save? A lot. So maybe even government and other businesses are going to push to go more virtual reality and augmented reality, just because of the emissions factor, and people are so worried about climate change. It can affect the traveling business, car businesses, if you don't have to travel as much. Properties, like a lot of businesses maybe are going to downsize on their workforce, and they're not going to have these big lavish offices now. So you can see a lot of this changing. And that's what we got to do as investors. We got to make these kind of predictions into the future and see where companies can be heading, see where the future is heading, because innovation is what's going to kill your businesses, right? So if you're just investing into businesses and you're not thinking about how this industry can change, how stuff can affect your business that you're investing to, you're really not doing your work, because innovation is going to threaten, it's going to kill, going to make your business obsolete. And those investments that you made are not going to be long-term gainers into the future. So make sure you're looking out to see what businesses are going to succeed in the future and what's in store for the future. Even though we're not sure, we can still kind of make little predictions and find out what businesses are going to kind of head into that way and what businesses are not going to really make it into the future. So I feel like Facebook had a strong Q4. I feel like the future of Facebook is pretty bright. So the possibility of a 2x, I feel like, is still very strong and possible for Facebook. I still think it's undervalued compared to a lot of companies in that high-tech space. So tell me what you guys think about Facebook. Is this a good business to invest in? Do you have high hopes for this company? Is this company a lost cause? What do you think? Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back to you in the next video. Peace.